So we're going to review, we're going to be working on our packet for a little bit, and we're going to review negations. We're on page 2. We're going to try and do question number 19. So here's question number 19. We're going to attack it from a symbolic standpoint. There are two choices for P. P can either be true or P can either be false. What do you know about the negation of P? If P were true, what would you put in this second slot over here? True. False. And what would you put in the second slot over here? True. So you get it. Negations just take away, just give the opposite truth value. New stuff in logic, new stuff. We're going to talk about conjunctions and disjunctions today. In English, you might also hear these words. Conjunctions in math are represented by the word and symbolically, you're going to see it used, you're going to see this symbol used. It equals and. Conjunctions are true only when both parts are true. Here we go. So you're going to see that we're going to start to use truth tables to evaluate symbols. Anybody here interested in becoming a lawyer, stuff like this is used on what's called the LSAT. Have you heard of that before? Okay? Big, huge blocks of statements or paragraphs can be broken down into symbols, and then using what you know about, using the math that we're going to learn now, you can evaluate the whole symbol without having to reread it like 10,000 times. And here's what I mean. We got to start out with some statement P, some statement Q, and then both of them put together with an and, P and Q. Well, let's take out the first scenario. It could be that the first part of our statement is true. Like Chris gave us an example, right? It's true, you're in this class. And it's true you're going to go home at, what? 3 o'clock, right? And so the whole statement is true. But it could also be the case, right, that, well, you're in my class, but for one reason or another, I hold you up. I ask to talk to you at the end of the day. And so you don't leave at 3 o'clock. And so what would you say about the statement? It's false. It's just that easy. And then it could also be the case that you're not actually in my class, but you do leave at 3 o'clock. And that's a false statement. And then it could also be the case that you're not in my class and you don't leave at 3 o'clock, and that's also false. And so this is called a truth table. Sometimes people put lines in between it just to keep track of stuff, and they put a big box around it. But that's really personal preference. There's also something called disjunctions. Disjunctions are represented by a V-looking shape. And they, in terms of words, mean the word or. Disjunctions are true. Disjunctions are true when any part of the sentence is true. So it works just like this works just like our conjunctions. You'll get some statement P and some statement Q, and then P or Q. Okay. And like we just talked about, we were talking about statements that involve breakfast. You know, well, for breakfast I have an egg or I have some cereal. Well, I could have it, whoops, let me do this in a color. I could have an egg. And if I have an egg, I'm not going to have some cereal, right? But having an egg or cereal still works. On Tuesday, you know, I'm deciding against the egg, I have cereal. And then this is also true. It could be the case that I'm feeling extra hungry and I have cereal and I have an egg. And in which case it would be true. And the only way it's not true is if neither one of them takes place. All right. Page 3, number 1. So here you're going to see some sentences. And instead of writing the sentences out, right, we're going to let the sentences be represented by symbols. This is the best part about math. It's going to save us so much time. Let's write number 1 out using symbols. I will study or I am foolish. Is that a conjunction or is that a disjunction? Shoot. It's a disjunction. Somebody give me the 2 symbols and the symbol in between that goes with number 1. Yes, sir. Yep, I'm going to study. The V-shaped symbol. Yeah. And that's all you got to do. That's it. Anybody want to volunteer and try and do 8? Shoot, Ben. Sure. Yep. Yep. Very nice, buddy. Yep. Just like that. Now let's pick another one. How about 5? I know we're going out of order a little bit. The tilde looking symbol, okay. Yep. Yep. And then a P. Very good. Let's go and try and evaluate truth tables now. 21. So Jordan did a great job. Yep. It's a perfect truth table. Disjunctions are true when any part of the compound sentence is true. So we got a challenge question. We're going to try 31A. So Sarah came up to the board. Sarah, you're an amazing girl. You're so good at logic. You're going to ace your test. Sarah filled out the chart. Anytime you have a negation, you just negate the value of the symbol that came with it. And then the compound, you just take these 2 parts right here and put them together and solve it. Great job. So we're still on page 3. We're just going down to part 2, and we're going to work on number 29. So that's all they gave us. They didn't even give us part of the table even filled out. Does anybody want to come to the board and try it on their own, or should we work together? Together? Yeah, so whenever you're trying to start these out, by the way, you're always going to start them out like this. Whether they put it down or whether you yourself put it down, it's always pretty much going to go true, true, false, false, true, false, true, false. And the only reason for this particular ordering is this gives you kind of every combination that's possible. True, 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 false, false, true, and false, false. Let's do the first part. This first one, this first column that we're going to tackle right over here, this is a disjunction column, right? Disjunctions, Chris, are true whenever what? Yeah, whenever one of the statements is true. So what does it go? It's got to go what? Very nice, buddy. Okay. And in the next column right next to it is a conjunction column. And conjunction columns are true only when what? Yeah, when both of the things are true. So Chris, help me fill this one out.
True, false, false.
Perfect. And we're going to slow down here for just 1 second while people take that down. So Let's do this last one. So now, although this looks really complicated, really all we're doing is taking these two columns and having the or symbol in between. That's what that last one is. So, does anybody have any ideas for how the column might go? Let's see. Hold on one second. Celine. Let's see. It would go, so this is a disjunction, and disjunctions are true when both statements are true. So true, 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 false. Celine, great job. Amazing. You're so wonderful. So smart. All right, let's assign some homework, right, for us to practice. And then we're going to enjoy our weekend. So our homework is all going to be from page 3. Oops, I made a mistake.